Hello, everyone. Today, we have a very interesting story about a lazy boy who is actually very clever in his own way. By the end of this story, we will learn how a lazy person can work harder and overcome their laziness. And not just that, while listening to the story, we will also learn some new words and how to make simple sentences with them. This will help us practice English in a fun and easy way, so stay with us till the end. Once upon a time in a quiet little village, there lived a young boy named Nilan. He lived with his parents in a small house near the edge of the fields. Nilan was extremely lazy. Every day, he was supposed to help his father in the farmland, but his only job was to scare away the birds that came to eat their rice crops. Most people use sticks or slingshots to chase the birds, but Nilan didn't want to move too much. So he built tall wooden poles around the field and connected them with ropes. By shaking the ropes, he could scare the birds without getting up. He could lie down, relax, and still finish his work. His father was worried about his laziness and often thought, if I ever fall sick, how will Nilan manage everything? But since Nilan always somehow completed his task, his father never scolded him. One summer, a long dry season arrived, and Nilan's father became very sick. Suddenly, Nilan had to take care of the whole field alone. He tried his best, but he wasn't used to real hard work. After a few weeks, the crops began to dry out. Because they didn't get enough water, Nilan couldn't save them all by himself. That night, Nilan sat outside under the stars, feeling helpless and disappointed. He thought, why didn't I ever try harder? Now my family has nothing left. The next morning, he heard people talking excitedly in the village. Nilan walked over to see what was happening. A royal soldier was announcing a grand competition at the king's palace, and the winner would receive a chest full of gold. Nilan thought this could save my family. Without thinking too much, he decided to join the competition. The villagers laughed, saying, how can someone as lazy as Nilan win against strong people from the entire kingdom? But Nilan didn't care. He had 3 days to reach the palace. So he started his journey early. His parents didn't believe he could win, but they hoped this would teach him to work harder. After 3 days of competition began, all the participants gathered near a huge lake. Many were strong and fit, which made Nilan nervous. How can I beat these people, he wondered. Then the rules were announced. They had to cross the lake, and only the first 3 would move to the final round. The countdown started. 3, 2, 1, go. Everyone jumped into the water and began swimming. But Nilan stayed behind. He thought, there's no way I can win just by swimming. Suddenly an idea came to him. He ran into the nearby forest, collected a few broken branches, and made a small raft. He used another piece of wood as a paddle. Nilan thought, this challenge is to cross the lake, not to swim across it. I may not be strong, but I can think smarter. As the swimmers got tired, Nilan slowly paddled across the lake, passing many of them. He eventually finished third and entered the final round. The other 2 finalists were very strong young men. The next day, the final challenge began. Each contestant was given a large wooden block. They had to push their block for 1 kilometer to reach the finish line. Behind them was a set of tools they could choose from, but only one tool was allowed. The first contestant quickly grabbed a thick rope and began pulling the block. The second chose a wooden lever to lift and push his block forward. Nilan, however, did not rush. He studied the tools carefully. I can't win by strength. I need to use my brain, he said to himself. After thinking for a while, he picked a small knife. The crowd was confused. How could a tiny knife help him move such a heavy block? Instead of pushing the block, Nilan began carving it. He shaped the block into a round ball. It took him about an hour. But once he finished, the block had turned into a wooden sphere. Now it was easy to roll. Nilan pushed the ball with little effort and soon caught up with the others while they struggled with their heavy blocks with determination and smart thinking. Nilan reached the finish line first. The crowd cheered loudly. No one had expected the lazy boy to win. This story teaches us that even lazy people can be clever, but to achieve something great, they need a strong reason. Just like Nilan worked hard for his family. When you feel lazy, find a big purpose to motivate you. It could be your family, your dreams, or proving people wrong. A strong reason can push you to give your best. Today, we also learn new words and sentences. Remember, learning English becomes easier when you practice regularly. So keep listening, keep learning, and keep growing. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.